Okay, so let's have a look. Now, we are dealing with narratives at the moment, not essays. So we're looking for a certain type of language, as you very well know. We're looking for imagery, adjectives, fluency, creativity. We're looking for character development. We are looking for showing and not telling, which we talked about and we need to talk more about. We also still need to go over dialogue and punctuation. Now, Rachel shivered as she looked around the almost dead cemetery. A couple of things here. Is this the best verb?
No.
What could we replace it with? Yes.
As she glanced.
So did she glance? Because glance is slightly different to scanned, yeah. What sort of atmosphere are we trying to create?
A stared.
Stare. Is she staring fixedly at something because she's terrified? Is she likely to be terrified? There's just been a creepy owl hooting somewhere in the distance. It's pitch black, it's night time, and she's in a cemetery. So how are we going to capture atmosphere? Give me some other verbs.
Peered.
Yes, peered is another option. Note how there are so many options available to you. How can we make them more emotive? How can we create more emotion?
Give it an adverb.
Yes, we could give it an adverb. All right. So, any one of these. Let's go with glance. Let's put an adverb.
Furtively.
Oh, beautiful. Furtively glanced. And now you're getting that furtive. That's better. That's giving the reader information about how the character is feeling, and that's one word. Other adverbs that we could use to describe this looking. Come on. Is she exhausted? What about wearily? Nervously? Suspiciously? Nice one. What about worriedly? Worriedly. Can you see how much of a difference the one word makes? Now we've created atmosphere. The character's not just looking, ho-hum, boring. Boring verb. Okay. Rachel shivered as she furtively glanced around the almost dead cemetery. That's much nicer, isn't it? What about the almost dead cemetery? What do we think about that phrase?
You could say that barely living.
Barely living? Well, yes, but you're saying the same thing.
It's not bad grammar.
I like what you're trying to do, but I'm sort of grappling a little bit with the actual message here. What were you trying to say with this almost dead?
It's like dead except like one thing.
Oh, dead except for one thing. Okay, let's try and capture that. Patty.
Wanted.
Okay, let's go with that. That's an option. Around the haunted cemetery. So let's get rid of that. We've decided we don't want that because we want to create this idea that something is lurking nearby.
Yeah.
about her gestures or how she's feeling. Remember that with character development, it's always action, not always in this order, thoughts, feelings, gestures. That's how we develop our characters. So we've got action, she's furtively glancing. We've got the reported thought, something is watching me, that's what she's thinking. How about we now go to what she's actually feeling in her body?
Well, for feelings, the next sentence does say she spoke out in a panicky voice.
But let's go with something, you'll see what I mean. Goosebumps, you're right, but we need to develop it more. The reader needs to really feel something for your character. Goosebumps crept across her skin, and I deliberately use crept because that's like a creepy. It wasn't flowed gently, it was crept because I want to keep my verbs in line with the atmosphere. Goosebumps crept across her skin and the hair on her neck prickled. What were you going to say? Back of the neck, it prickles, isn't it? So you can add something like that. And I'll just put an ellipsis there because we're going to add some of that other stuff, but we're going to move on. Now we've got the gestures, we know what she's actually physically feeling, like the goosebumps. But what about her feelings? Let's just throw in something about her feelings. What about uneasiness? Or do we even need to say that because we've already implied it with the goosebumps? Okay, so if you're happy with that, that's a judgment call you have to make every time you write something. Can you put the air conditioner on, please? Okay, or you could just add the word uneasiness, flooded her senses, something like that. You could have goosebumps crept across her skin as uneasiness flooded her senses. Now you can decide, just push it. You can decide whether you want that or not. All right, crack. She turned around and spoke out in a panicky voice. Now, again, we need to get rid of some words. What are the words we're going to get rid of? Yep, Patty?
Turned around. She spoke.
What actually should we be doing here before we actually even start playing with it? Should we describe how she's turning? Should we put another adverb in, as we have up here? Can we use a better verb? How can you turn? Come on, you are turning. You are the character. You have just heard crack. What are you going to do?
Pirouette.
Pirouette.